play our part in it, and we start to see it.
Jeffrey, Ariel,
Hello.
welcome to the 5th quarter.
Thank you. It's wonderful to
I
be
just
here.
find out that it's almost looked like 5 over here, but let's think that it's 5. So we're both New Yorkers. What brought you here when you first came to Israel? To Jerusalem?
I first came when I was in my 1970s.
In the 70s?
Yeah, my parents came and took me on a trip to Israel, and I came to Jerusalem. I met some friends here, had a wonderful experience, and then decided to come back.
And when you
Lived
came
here
back?
I came back almost right away in the 70s. Lived here for 2.5 years and was with like a mystical group here of people that we lived communally in Jerusalem. We were bringing out like a
neighborhood?
A new way of thinking. Well, I lived many places. We lived in Abu Dis. We lived on the way to Ramallah. We lived in a hotel called the Samaramis Hotel. And about 6 months we lived in Emek Raphaim.
Maybe speak a little louder.
We lived in Emek Raphaim.
Emek Raphaim, that's
And,
right.
we lived in a communal way like that. But anyway, I lived there, and then I left, went back to America. I was a carpenter, a contractor, and then in the 1990s, I left my old life and decided to come back to Israel. And I met my wife and stayed, and now I have 2 children.
2 children?
My daughter, Lilach, today is just released from the army.
Oh,
She had a
congrats.
very long service because she was in Nachal.
Mm.
And so she's really, really happy. She's just like...
So you're a writer?
I'm writer, yeah. I have
Well,
a few
how
books.
would you describe your being?
Well, I'm kind of, I see that everything is energy,
Mm-hmm.
and that there's many different dimensions happening at once. And I was very fortunate in my life to learn a method called Attunement, an energy healing method, very early in my life, and it helps to kind of balance it. And so you can do it with yourself or another person or a situation or life. And so I've learned to do that through my life. It's spiritually balancing. And it actually works with the body and it also physically. So it's like the physical and the spiritual come together. And so it's a method called Attunement. And then from that...
Attunement.
Yes, Attunement.
Which comes from tuning to?
Tuning one of your instruments, you're tuning the body to the spirit, in a sense. You know, like when you're listening to a guitar, you're listening for the sound. So when we are doing attunement, it's a non-touch method. We're actually listening at a spiritual level for the clarity, for the right tune. And then...
Is it related to the string theory?
I don't know the string theory.
Which it's kind of like based on everything is music, harmony, not concept, not instead of going to the parts, like Einstein in quantum physics, trying to find the part and how the part operates in the system, the movements all together, how they...
Yeah.
Maybe you should...
Well, it is the movement. That's being in attunement. That's being a human being. When we're in attunement, we're in a human being, and then we have a choice. We have a mind, emotions, experiences.
What brought you there? A person born in New York, the most materialistic place, but maybe the most spiritual too, because it all comes together.
Oh, when I was a little
What
kid,
brought you there?
When I was a little kid, I just started talking with fish. I started talking with nature. And it just continued, and I realized that there's another world. So I communicate with the invisible world, with the spiritual world since I've been a little kid. And there's many parts to the spiritual world. It's not like, okay, there's this, you know, like you see on the movies and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
It's vast. And so that started where I started to perceive, and I started to be in nature all the time, which I still do. And then communicating with nature, and then I realized Earth has energy, that Earth, our planet we're living on, is a living being, and then I mean, many things have happened, so I've kind of developed. But I would like to get to my book. It's called.
You will get to your book. So that's.
Oh wait. Okay, because there's a reason. Because
let's see. First, I like that you're coming with the same color as your book.
Oh really?
The two books.
I didn't realize. I don't have yellow on it. But
Part of any. Yeah. So the first book I see over here, דרכים רבות לחוות את כדור האנרגיה. Many. Can you try? We probably have a favorite translation to it.
How is energy? Here it is in English. Energy ball.
Energy ball
for health and spiritual growth.
For health and spiritual growth. Where can you find it?
Well, right now you can only find it by me because I just published it like less than a week ago. And,
oh wow!
And I'm trying to get it on Amazon, and
all right, so
I will get it on Amazon soon.
And that's your first book.
Yeah, this one is really my baby.
Do you know Goldstein? That's my my maternal last name.
Oh, really?
Maybe we are related somewhere. Energy ball for peace ceremony. So when we just got here, you told me that you are planning a big peace ceremony in the Jaffa Gate.
Well, not planning. I said that I saw a beautiful place for.
You already saw it happening.
Right. I saw it. We've done many gatherings, peace gatherings at Jaffa Gate, and for over years, different groups. And what I've done is, the reason why I was jumping here is because when I went from energy, from attunement, when I came here, I realized that, we need to bring something to the society. The society needs attunement. Now, how is that going to happen? So I started to work with energy and peace groups. I went to peace groups, small groups, and believe me, there's hundreds of different people meeting all over, or groups all over the country. And then I started to teach them energy balls, and then it would help start out a gathering or end a gathering, and people would feel it. And after a while,
let me capture my consciousness around it. You're talking about energy ball.
Right.
Now, I remember in the past working with groups of healing from a distance, like Brahma Kumaris, Dadaguna Muktananda, great entities from India that you send them a picture of a person that needs help, and they make kind of like group meditations from different parts of the world to heal that person. Is there any relation between these two methods?
Well, that's what you're talking about is the essence of blessing. Not really bless. That's like prayer and blessing and enfoldment and attunement we call it long distance attunement. So it's like it's definitely connected. It's something that we have the ability to do, and people do it all the time in every religion. There are different ways that people are doing similar to what you're talking about.
So, energy ball.
Energy ball is a little different.
Give me the.
Well, it's because I'm working with, like when I make an energy ball, I'm working with the energy of my body, and I can use that energy to do something. So I use it to send a blessing. So I think about my children, or I think about the world situation. Think about, new presidents, new prime ministers, and presidents, everything. So I hold them in my life, in the light, so I can do that. But I could also take that energy and move it in my body, and allow that same energy to circulate and kind of heal myself. I can take it around my knee. I can take it into the earth. I take it to the sky, to Creator, to around the world. And when we do it with more than one person, well, then we create something really different. Hey, hi, Yoni.
Hello, Yoni. We are in the broadcast. Come join us. Be careful on the ropes, and come sit over here.
Sure.
All right, now we have an energy ball that is full of intentions.
Right.
That you brought the most precious things in your life with it.
Right.
Just, Yoni, over here there is the cable for camera. So just be careful not to put it back on. You got it. Now we have that energy ball. Let's imagine that we have it. Now I want to, what I do with it, what you do with it.
Well, first of all, we build it in intensity, and then we release it. We can send it to a person or a place, but what I'm interested in is to fill the atmosphere. So in your room, there's an atmosphere.
Yeah.
And so when we start making energy balls, that energy fills up the room, goes into the physical, it changes something.
Changes the physical.
Yeah, it enlivens the physical.
Enliven the physical. In what way? In the fifth dimension type of way? Or?
Exactly. In a way where the physical like receives the blessing. So if I drink this glass of water and I say, you know, like this is, and if I bring energy into the water, which I have an exercise in my book for, and what happens is this gets charged with like a tiny bits of my light energy, and as I drink it, that energy enters into my body and kind of spreads, and it's like a message of cleanliness. And so when we're working with energy flowing, it's like clean. It's just clean energy. And so everything gets a little bit cleaner. Afuch, the opposite, is when people are heavy and fighting and angry and they're creating heavy energy. And then if that gets stuck in your body, then it creates disease. So we want to do the opposite. We just want the energy to flow and become lighter. And when it runs into this heaviness, then it helps to heal it or cleanse it or melt it. So that all, I explain a lot of this in the book about working.
Is there intentions involved in it?
Yes, definitely.
So it's intentionally based method.
Right.
Based on intentions of first you as the creator of the ball, and then the people that you add to that ball. What's the biggest ball you ever created?
Well, I used to organize a gathering called Jerusalem Celebration of Light.
Jerusalem Celebration of Light. Where was that?
In the Jerusalem forest behind Yad Vashem. I
Okay.
organized it for
Powerful spot.
12 years. It was an amazing gathering. At one point, we had about 500 to 800 people in a gathering on top of the mountain.
Have you tried doing it in the Rainbow Gathering?
I tried it. No, I did it small groups in the Rainbow. The Rainbow is too scattered. You need people focused more. Rainbow people are everyone's scattered. Everyone wants to control and change things. In order to do a really good energy circle, people need to kind of release and let go. And I just kind of guide it so that it kind of builds. The energy builds. Because a lot of people, like, as soon as the energy builds, a lot of people, oh, well, I want to do this, I want to do, oh, let's do this one. And then they dissipate the
So
energy.
the intention doesn't comes to one mutual intention, it just becomes scattered intention.
Exactly. No, it scatters the energy. So actually, when you make an energy ball, it's delicate. Like for me, I'm used to it. But a lot of people, they just lose it. You know, like, it's just like, well, see, we're actually a walking energy ball. And if we keep it and build it, then it kind of grows and comes from inside, we flow. But people lose it all the time, and we lose it in our hands. And when you have a big gathering, people can lose that energy. It's very delicate. It's a delicate
Do you
energy.
have a scientific?
Yeah, I put something in my book that the best I could figure out about it.
How can we,
I tried to
I
scientifically
meet along the way so many amazing ideas that works based on placebo effect, based on, placebo effect is scientific, right? The FDA to approve a method, whether it's psychology, whether it's medicinal, the monitoring group is based on placebo. If, it works the same, it ain't gonna pass. If the medicine have higher percentage of healing than the placebo, then the medicine approved, and then you're gonna see it in all the pharmaceutical industry. Do you have any ideas how to bring it in to the pharmaceutical industry?
Well, I don't know about the pharmaceutical, but into the medical field, I know how to bring it into the trauma field. I'm also a trauma therapist.
Tell me a little bit about that.
Somatic Experiencing.
Somatic experiencing.
It's a method that helps you go into the body and discharge what's happening in the body.
Give me an example, for example. Like one example that you've done, you can stay anonymous on it.
Wow, okay. So one time when I was learning, I was walking in the nature, and I tripped over barbed wire.
All right.
It was just there. It was
These barbed wire even works. I mean,
I tripped over a piece of barbed wire and I fell down and hurt myself. I go, ow, what's it? And then I got up and said, okay, you just had a trauma. You're learning trauma. What are you going to do? First, that's part of trauma is the consciousness of it.
Uh-huh.
So I started to come out of it by thinking about it. And I said, okay, what are you sensing in your body? Well, I have pain here and there. And then I said, and it's strong. And then I said, okay, what are you feeling emotionally? I said, I'm really angry that someone left this barbed wire in the middle of nature where it has no place to be. And then all of a sudden I felt this natural discharge. And then my nervous system started changing. And then, I started to get up and I walked. And in 5 minutes, I said, where did I hurt myself? And I couldn't find the places. So I was able to go deep enough into my body that I changed the memory of what happened in a sense. And that's part of somatic experiencing. It's like we're finishing or changing what's happened. Because if you're angry and you're going to throw a punch and you stop, that energy is stuck in there. Like if you want to defend yourself, and you can't. And so then it gets stuck. So
is it related to Wim Hof?
I don't know. I don't know what this is.
Wim Hof is he invented the breathing method. That you can breathe out the pain. And if you concentrate on the breathing, you just completely discharge yourself from the physical experience.
Sounds like a wonderful method. Right, I think within the past 10, 15 years, I think there's 30 or 40 excellent methods to take care of trauma now. And I know somatic experiencing is growing and growing. And it all relates to similar to what you just spoke about with the breathing or with finishing the body movements. And,
it's related to, I think, the stream of enhancing the placebo effect. That if the FDA cannot do it, if the pills cannot do it, if the synthetic world cannot do it, maybe we should just stop. Maybe, it's the same as what they're talking about space exploration. If it takes 6 years to get to Mars and 1 million years to get to any other star, maybe we should just stop, go back to the lab and change the format, the methodology that we are even trying to think. Energy ball for peace ceremony, energy ball for health and spiritual growth. It was such a pleasure to
thank you.
have you.
Yes.
Thank you so much.
You're welcome. This one you can find on Amazon.
This one on Amazon?
Yeah, the other one will be on soon.
You guys want to make some coffee or something? That'd be nice. All right.
Sure, just give me the